The Attorney General's recent address to a United Nations meeting stirring up quite a hornet's nest, with some calling for public consultation on the hot-button issues addressed. In this report, our Jillian Gray tells us how and why one senior cabinet minister is stepping in the fray.
The Deputy Prime Minister coming to the defense of the Attorney General, who's received some serious flack for comments made during his address to the UN's periodic review in Switzerland. The AG at the time tackled several thorny issues, including the death penalty, sexual orientation and discrimination, the administration of justice and fair trial, the acceptance of international norms, and marital rape. The latter being the focus of much discussion in recent weeks. This particularly on the heels of the UN Special Rapporteur calling for marital rape to be outlawed here in the Bahamas. AG Carl Bethel disclosing at last week's meeting that an amendment has been drafted to the Sexual Offences Act, paving the way for this to happen. But Senator Bethel has since been raked over the coals, with some decrying the fact that he revealed abroad what wasn't put to the public.
I would not get too far into that, except to say that I don't know that it is true to say that those announcements were made internationally before they were discussed here. You will know that just in the last couple of weeks we've had a big debate going on here about these issues. And there has been some indications of the kinds of thought processes that we're trying to put into these decisions, and including people in the discussion. So I think it would be unfair to say that this was an announcement that was made overseas. You can make the argument that we have not had the formal public town meeting kind of consultation on it, but we've been having discussions in the media by questions, and we've been having private conversations with various stakeholders about the issues, and so you know, I'm comfortable that we're moving in the right direction in terms of involving the public. And as we get around to taking positions, I'm sure that there will be full consultation with the public.
In his own defense, the Attorney General says he's publicly spoken on marital rape, the intention to amend the Bahamas Nationality Act and immigration laws, and so to say he spoke on these issues internationally before so at home is false. He also expressed deep distress to see his words, as he put it, deliberately distorted, contorted, and twisted out of all recognition, and urged Bahamians to actually read the words in the report given to the UN rather than be driven by the excess and errors depicted in social media. For JCN News, I'm Jillian Gray.
Based on the most recent available numbers, the Bahamas' population sits very close to 400,000 people. That, of course, based on UN estimates as of today. But an upcoming census will no doubt confirm how much these numbers have changed in 2020, when statisticians will again head out into the field to get crucial information about the population.
All data collected will be used for statistical purposes only. For statistical purposes only. And will be held in the strictest confidence. In essence, the information collected will not be used to pry into your personal affairs on behalf of any agency. It will not be used against you in any manner, and will not be disclosed along with information that can identify you to any individual or any entity or agency.
That was Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquist, who sought to allay fears that gathering such information could very well open the door for impersonators.
Between here and the launch, there will be an intensive public relations campaign to ensure that everybody is aware of what to look for, how to identify legitimate census takers, and the kind of information that they'll be asking for, so that if people come along asking for extraneous information or irrelevant information, that they'll be alerted right away that something's not right here, and they can call back to the department and verify that this is in fact somebody that is authorized to receive the information.
Now, changes in the population makeup has serious implications on things like education, social services, healthcare, and the development and the upkeep of infrastructure. And that's a key priority in strengthening the department, is the changing of its legislation. According to the minister, a new statistics bill is set to replace the out-of-date Act of 1973.
Between here and the launch, there will be an intensive public relations campaign to ensure that everybody is aware of what to look for, how to identify legitimate census takers, and the kind of information that they'll be asking for, so that if people come along asking for extraneous information or irrelevant information, that they'll be alerted right away that something's not right here, and they can call back to the department and verify that this is in fact somebody that is authorized to receive the information.
The $4 to $5 million census begins May 4th, 2020. The results will be made public a few months later. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis meeting this morning with business execs at the Texas Association of Business, or TAB, in Austin, Texas. The whole idea of the visit is to forge a relationship in hopes of bringing diversification to the Bahamas, at the same time attract foreign investment. Now, during this morning's meeting, the Prime Minister and his delegation met with reps from Dell, Google, Providence Energy, a Bahamian-based energy development company, and Airbox Software. Freeport featured high in the Prime Minister's discussions at that meeting. In fact, the group was invited to consider Grand Bahama as it plans its next startup or the expansion of an international enterprise. And Prime Minister Minnis made a good pitch why. In doing so, he stressed the islands, and the Bahamas for that matter, modern and superior infrastructure, modern roads, constant and reliable electricity supply of North American standards, fully digital telecommunications, and high-quality, high-speed internet. Grand Bahama, he said, has also proven to be an attractive place for manufacturing cutting-edge technology. To its credit, the Carnival Corporation has identified the island as the ideal location to configure and assemble the Ocean Medallion Concierge system. That's just Grand Bahama. The Prime Minister also painted a picture of the entire Bahamas being open for investment. After all, it's currently finalizing programs for blockchain-based solutions, fintech and cryptocurrency companies, and intend to promote blockchain as a sub-industry within ICT. Now, discussions are also underway on how work permits can be fast-tracked. Joining the Prime Minister on this trip are Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield, State Minister of Grand Bahama, Senator Kwesi Thompson, non-resident ambassador designate for Central American States, C.A. Smith, and Senior Policy Advisor in the Office of the Prime Minister, Joshua Sears. While in Texas, the Prime Minister is also expected to meet with the Bahamian Diaspora and Chamber of Commerce execs. The group's expected back in the capital on Wednesday. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us. There's more to come after this break.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.